Feel how nice it is just to breathe for a moment. All the cares of the world are gone. It's like this sense of freedom I get in my hammock. These good deep breaths are flowing for us. As we're here, let's take a moment to connect with our intention. The intention for today's class is working on the chakras of the body again, helping to energize, to lengthen all sorts of areas all over the body. What's useful about this at this time of the year, this time of the year has very much the energy of release. It's the time where we start to see death of plants all around us. And that energy of release can be difficult for many because we have this tendency to become attached to things. When we think of releasing them, we think of it's like a panic state where it's like, no, I have to hold on to it, whatever it is. I don't want to lose it. I don't want somebody to steal it. I have to protect it. There's so much energy that goes to it. With a sense of release, there's honestly this type of freedom that it's like your life doesn't necessarily have to have any direction. That release, while it's hard, if you think about it, in our physical bodies, if we only ever had new growth, we would get cancer for sure if there was no death, because that death in that is the freedom and the space for new stuff to grow. It's much healthier. It's much more of a state of balance. So checking in with the energy centers of your body right now, take a moment to kind of imagine a screenshot of them. Imagine if you could take a picture, what areas feel maybe a little bit more dark or deficient right at this moment. And our hope is for all areas to feel a little bit more enlivened, a little bit more activated through our time together. Just feeling a little bit more just free. And so any of those dark areas that feel like they're draining the energy of the surrounding chakras, any of that, that's our hope today, is to move and wiggle and stretch through that. So with all this to get us started, let's take some of our initial stretches. The arms can start to extend all the way to the back wall. Start to feel the shoulders, wiggle left and wiggle right. Maybe connecting the breath with it. Just easy, easy movements. Good. Coming back through the center, hug around right knee. A couple of easy ankle rolls for that right foot. Right leg working its way up to sky. Feel the hamstring for a moment. This one's a root chakra area. So visualize the color red. It's going all the way up and down that leg. It's like each exhale is a chance for us to breathe out some of the darkness so that on the next inhale, more red swirling can happen. Good. Hooking the heel over to back left side. Slide the shin in. Hip opener, this gets us into the sacral chakra, a nice orange color around that hip. Sometimes I like the color of an actual orange, that really bold orange. Other days I visualize more of like a creamsicle, so it doesn't matter exactly which kind of orange you're imagining, but just imagine, and I usually do this with my eyes closed, but just imagine just that whole area around that hip, just vibrant with orange, just a swirling energy. And feel how that orange connects right up to the red, the roots. So let's take another huge breath for this side. Bring out this leg, drop it down. And second knee into chest, give it a few ankle rolls. That starts to wake up the root chakra on that path. And when that root chakra is ready to extend up, let it pick up to sky, grab onto it, pull it in. Feel that red energy swirling all around. Good deep breaths flowing. Take another good inhale. A nice exhale. Hook the heel. Slide the shin in. Orange color. Feel that vibrancy for a few breaths. Another huge breath flow in. Nice exhale. Free out this leg, drop it down. Let's kick the feet free off the front, sitting all the way up. Hands come all the way back behind us. So hook the thumbs on the back part of the fabric. You're gonna head to an inversion. Just note in your mind, we're heading into the solar plexus chakra. So that chakra is activated by core and by twist. So we're gonna do both of those as we're upside down. So push the fabric to the back side of pant line. Let the legs go wide so that you have space to wrap around the fabric. Good. Once you release and you're upside down, the first thing we're gonna do is twisted crunches. So take the hands either at the heart or behind the head. And you're gonna try to twist your right shoulder toward your left knee and your left shoulder to your right knee. Take a few of those. Maybe 4 more to each side. Good. Keep the breath flowing. Good. When you've reached that happy point, then you can release hands to floor and we'll take a nice twist using, trying to keep the hips where they are, but the upper body is spiraling. So walk one hand to the top of the mat, one hand to the base of the mat. Try to keep the hips facing where they were. The rest of the spine spirals around. Feel that yellow energy all around that solar plexus area, that belly area. Take another 2 or maybe 3 breaths on this half before you switch. Try to keep the spine in good balance, whether you continuously shift back and forth or whether maybe eventually you just come to the center. Nice thing about inversions too is that they hit our last 3 chakras as well. Throat chakra, turquoise. Third eye chakra, dark blue, and the crown chakra, purple. Don't feel like you have to stay as long as anybody else. Just enjoy it as long as your body's happy. Coming up to floating child when you're satisfied. Grip on a spot closer to the inner knee. Inner knee. There you go. And then just unwind the feet and they'll pop right back up. There you go. Hook the elbows, just lean forward. The floating child pose is really useful because up to this point, usually most of my color visualizations were for the front half of the body. So as I start to lean forward like this, I feel those back muscles elongating. That gives me a chance to think of the colors, all those beautiful, brilliant colors going up the back side of the body as well. Taking a huge breath in. Nice breath out. Sitting back up, let's enjoy a twist. Again, helping that solar plexus chakra. Bunch up fabric to front door side. The shoulder closer to mountains, painted wall, opens up. 4 circles around the head, your choice. One more breath here. Take both the inhale and the exhale. Release and switch the twist. Again, it's the back shoulder that opens or circles around the head. Take another huge inhale. Nice exhale. Let's release. Grab the fabric on both sides. Lift the hips up and out. We're standing. Swing fabric around in front of us. And for our first good heart opener, we're going to step our right thigh all the way inside. Make sure you're not standing too far behind plumb line, just like 2 or 3 inches when you gaze up. The grip is going to go circling the fingers around the fabric each side. We're sinking hips forward, but then from that grip, we're able to lean back a little bit, letting that heart lift up to sky, let the throat open up to sky. So hips continuously sink forward if there's more space. And continue to open that heart. Another huge inhale. Nice exhale. Spine's back upright. Weight of legs comes over standing leg. And shift down to ankle. This first one's nice and easy. Just slip hands down. This is a nice, just rounding forward shape after that good heart open. Just sliding hands down. It doesn't have to even sink weight forward. Just nice and easy. Feel that front leg. Try to take any bend out of the knee if possible. Even just microscopically trying to help it. 1 nanometer. Maybe the next exhale is another nanometer. Not blocking, just straighten. Would you inhale? Exhale, spine rises up. Grip left hand to right side or left hand on the outside of right side. And then right hand opens up to a twist. This one's kind of nice because if you're trying to push the front leg to that top left corner of your mat, you're in the yellow solar plexus and you're in the IT band, hip sacral. Another good inhale. Exhale, return forward, grip up high. We're trying out a swinging switch. Left foot steps in, right foot steps down. When we're here, make sure you didn't end up more than that 2 or 3 inches behind, and then slip fabric back down to thigh. So circle the fingers around, grip high, get the hips to start sinking really far forward, and then heart rises and throat rises. Another good inhale. Nice exhale. Weight of the body comes back. Slip down to ankle. Weight stays over standing leg, just slip the hands down. Heart gets closer to that thigh. Feel how nice it is to have that rounded forward shape after the heart arching shape. And use each breath to try to take those little micro bends out of that left leg. Even if nobody else can see the effort, you can feel it within when those muscle fibers are as long as possible. Another breath gets to flow in and out. Good. And as we lift our torso upright, right hand grabs left side, that's the easier grip, or pushes on the outside of left side. Left hand opens up. Again, maybe that front foot is trying to cross to the top right corner of mat. And then we've got solar plexus, hip, sacral, all sorts of goodies going on with our chakras. Try to remember the spine isn't like collapsing in the twist. We're trying to straighten up to spiral around. One more breath in and out. Returning forward. Maybe another swinging switch just for funsies. Flipping in and out. But then we can take the leg all the way out. Good. So today we're going to revisit our vampire pose a couple of different times through class. So I want you to come up to the top of your mat, the side that's closer to mirror, grab the front end, wave it out. And we're trying to get our fabric more or less immediately set up for vampire. So this is going to be more grips than normal. So instead of 5, maybe you're taking 7 or 8 grips. From there, you can head under plumb line, rise up to tippy toes, scoot it under your glutes. It'll be the same steps to get to vampire, but our first focus for this first vampire, once the fabric's around shoulders, feet risen upside down, the focus for this first one is to try to play with balance. So if you wanted to peek for a moment, the balance could be like this. First, just trying to get the toes to touch each other rather than the fabric. And sometimes that's where we're at. Other times, maybe play with the front leg going forward, back leg back. Maybe even wrapping both legs around one pole, then back up, switching, wrap around the other. You can go nice and slow through it all, making the core have to work. So go ahead and start rising up. Go ahead and drop down for a second. So this comes here. Okay, that's better. Nope. This, and then turn the toes out. Now you can push into it. Yep, that's it. Good. Good. So just play with your balance. Feel how the core wants to try to correct itself constantly. Like I mentioned earlier, vampire is also really good for those upper chakras. Even getting the heart chakra a little bit by our shoulders relaxing away from gravity. A little physics principle. Anything that goes forward, you have to counterbalance something else backward. So if that helps you to take that. That's okay. You can just come out here. If you want to lay back and stargazer and just wait for the others, that'll give your head. We've got more than half out at this point. Let's go ahead and head out and into our recovery shape. Your floating, your Shavasana shape is fine. Your floating child is fine. For anybody that wants to pop out for Stargazer, that's fine. Some of us just ended up here, that's fine. So just take a little bit of time. We're listening to our head, listening to all of our systems, giving us check marks. You'll help me know that you're doing pretty good by starting to sit up and exit the fabric, or if we're in the Stargazer, start to flip the fabric out in front of us. Whenever you're back to standing, no rush to get there. What we'll do is some cat-cows. So upper body goes forward. We're gripping about as wide as shoulders. And then you'll just start to play with the upper body, rounding the spine up. And then belly dropping down, gaze up. So the whole spine, getting that chance to work together in cat-cow. No rush again if you're still kind of needing some time after that inversion. It's a huge inhale. Last one. Huge exhale. Flatten back out. We're gonna take a nice long side body stretch for our shoulder to the front door. So what we're gonna do is bend our right elbow, pointing it down to ground. Then the straight left arm is gonna just point its way up to front. The knees and the feet, just do whatever is comfortable for them. Good, straighten both arms to go back through the front. Left elbow points down to ground, straight right arm sways to backward. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten back forward. Bend the knees softly, roll the spine up. So from here, let's take our right ankle back inside. This one's a high grip as we take a splits forward, getting right into root chakra. Feel it alive. Nice inhale. Exhale. Weight comes back. Slip the fabric to the thigh. We're taking a really tight grip so that we can lift up the second knee, softly lowering it to ground. We're going to take a half camel, right hand grips really high on the left strand. And then our left hand tries to drop to the back heel. If you tuck the toes, it gives you some extra inches, a little hint. If the heel is still not accessible, just bring it to low back. Nice and easy prep. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes up, cross it to the second side, left hand grabbing on right. We're going to drop right hand to the heel. Feel that nice spiral as the heart is opening. Good, gripping back up high. This is going to be a funky transition, so if you want to watch first, the idea is turning to your long edge and trying to get the fabric to slip to the ankle so that once we're here, we can try to take almost like a frog pose, just sinking the weight forward. So you kind of just have to turn and then slip it to ankle. It's a really tight hamstring stretch for sure. Good. Once you're facing to the side, you're welcome to even lower to elbows if you'd like. You could even hop your knee that's on the ground backwards so you have more space to just sink some weight forward. So find the perfect amount of elbows up or down, sinking into the weight. Find the perfect amount for your body here. Take 2 more breaths. Good. From here, leaving that ankle line side, we're pivoting to the back of the mat, planting both hands. You'll have to find the right placement for your body, but the idea here is stepping both feet into the fabric and then trying to pike the hips above the shoulders and hold in that piked position. You choose how long to hold before you're ready to drop that left knee back down to pigeon pose. Keep breathing in the pike. Don't stop breathing just because it's hard. Try to use your core when you lower down so it's not just collapsing the joints. Good work. Eventually left knee pigeon pose. Just let it relax for a moment. Take 2 more breaths. After the second breath, the foot comes out. Let's plant the hands, taking a downward facing dog. Eventually walk the feet to the hands or the hands to the feet. Soft bend to the knees to roll our way up. Good. Let's face fabric. Taking the left ankle in. Good. So make sure you're just that couple of inches to get started with. The grip is high. You can wrap around, that's fine. And start to sink your weight forward. That red energy super alive in our legs. Salud. Good. Weight comes back. Slip it to thigh. Tight grip so we can use our core. Softly lower right knee to floor. Maybe check the back toes already if you know that you like that version with camel. And then this left hand grips really high up on the right side. Right hand to the heel. Feel the heart space open. That's the biggest thing I want you to experience here. Another full breath cycle. Let it go in, out. As the right hand goes up, reach really high on the left side. And left hand drops to the heel for the twisted version. Low back is also fine, just rest it at the back side of the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Come back upright with your torso for a moment. This is the funky one where we turn to our right side. Start slipping the fabric to the ankle. Maybe the knee scoots back on your mat just a bit so you can sink forward, kind of like a half frog. Maybe lowering the elbows if that's useful, maybe not. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to pivot to the back of the mat. Let's try out the pike. If it was really hard before, maybe try it on elbows this time. Maybe you can stay an extra breath or two. Otherwise, step in. Try to get hips over shoulders. Try to hold. Keep breathing. You choose when to come down, right leg for pigeon. Not a competition. When your body says, I don't think I could do it anymore. I've done awesome. I'm proud of myself. Welcome to pigeon if you're not there already. Let's take 2 more deep, slow breaths. We finished the second one. Let your hands plant so you can take a downward facing dog. Eventually walking hands to feet or feet to hands. Soft knees to rise up. Good. Take a second, vampire variation. So come back up to the top, wave it out. Based on if you had to shift out of fabric or not last time, you'll know maybe that 7 or 8 grips was fine. Maybe you need more or less. Get about what you think is right, and then head in. So this vampire, when you're ready to start going into it, you will need the excess fabric up your legs because this one's a core-based one. So it'll be the fabric over that safe spot, hands gripping high left and right, feet are in the little pocket. And so this time what we do, if you need to peek, go for it. If not, you're good. You balance with toes coming together. You slowly pike down until feet grab the fabric in front of your chest. Then you flatten out. And then you reverse that whole pike, hips back, pike back up to vampire. So try to do that. Maybe you've got 5 in you, maybe it's more, maybe it's less. Good. So keep on gripping. Good. Good, shoulders wrapped. Try to bring your feet to balance. Good. Yep. Yep, so try to bring feet to balance. And then from there, feet will come down in front of your chest. So hips back a little bit as the legs go forward. It's like a plow pose, really. Yep, there's a point right there where your feet are in the fabric. So then from there, try to flatten out like you're flying above the ground.
Oh.
Or you can just pike back up from there, that's fine too. Got about half the class out, so if you're still upside down, maybe take your last 2 or 3 breaths, and then take a Shavasana for a moment. Eventually, there will be a point when our systems are a go and we're safe to sit back up, but don't feel rushed into it. Take your recovery as long as your blood pressure needs to come back to normal. Good. Just stay seated just like how you are, but sit upright, clasp hands behind the back. Let's shift our hands to the right hip or the right waist, and then drop right ear to right shoulder. That throat chakra, good breath. Let yourself feel that turquoise color. Huge inhale. Exhale. Head up. Shift to left hip or left waist. Left ear down. So that turquoise color again. Flowing in and out with the breath. More breath in. Nice exhale. Release the hands. Grab onto the fabric. Let's exit. Okay, so this next one's going to be kind of like a playtime. It's also one that in the full pose, it might take up a little bit too much space laterally. So once we're kind of in the shape, some of us might come up and into it, some of us down. It'll be kind of like a playtime thing for a little while. I'll show you first, but the idea is stepping up and in. We're going to shift such that we're facing toward back door, getting ourselves piked here, 90-degree seat. And then the idea here is we're trying to get into fish pose. So I've got my head to the right, so it would be my left shoulder for this side. What I'm going to try to do is straighten out and then arch up like a fish pose. So from here, if you'd like to, you could also take your top leg up, an arrow pose, and then just slowly, slowly come out. Wait for your neighbors to do the first side, and then you can switch sides. Okay? So fun to play with. So allow yourself, whoever's maybe my first people, to come up. And you can even just sit in the waiting position. That's fine too. Well, let's get our back onto the right side. Our left foot steps up. So that way we can pike down to the seated place. It's a 90-degree. Good. Your grip of the hands above you, above your head, is what's going to be safe. The legs lock straight. So from here, you have to push your feet and arch your heart up to come back fish pose. A huge arch. It is a massage for that shoulder in a good way. Good.
Brittany, is the right silk on the left or right side of me?
We're ultimately going to do both, so you choose.
Is that it?
That's it, yeah. And if you feel safe enough to try to go for the pigeon pose wrap, you can, but you don't.
Which leg?
Top one.
Goes right.
Up above.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it has to be a really deep fish pose to get there. Yeah, very good. You kind of collapsed your spine though, so you lost a little bit, but yeah, that's the idea. Good. Okay, if you need to come out for a second, go right ahead. And eventually, yep, you can just switch sides right there. That's fine too, but eventually get both shoulders. That way both sides get that little massage. Good. Think of the fish pose first before you try to do anything with the leg, really. It's that arch, trying to get the back away. Yeah. Good. Love that deep, deep tissue massage we get. Good. Good. Whenever you've had a chance to do both sides, go ahead and come out. If you still have one more side to do, go ahead and do it. I'm not sure where we're all at, so. Looks like we still got a little bit more playtime, so if you want to lay back, that's fine. If you want to go back into it, looks like we have time. So get your back on. Step that free foot up high. Slide back down to the 90-degree. That's a good comfortable seat too. Good. Yep. And then both hands grip up above your head. Arch back to fish. It's the hips lifting up, that back bend hip. Yep. And it has to keep that energy up. Yeah. Good. And you can feel it when your shoulders are in pretty good massage balance.
This one goes and hooks.
But make sure you're in the fish first. Yeah, there you go. Good safety. Remember, go to fish first. And then.
Oh, go to fish first.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're too curled in to hook it. Yeah. Okay, this one's the last one for this one, but we can always play with this another day. So when you're out, go ahead and lay back for a moment. Stargazer, give your head just a couple of breaths and let your waist have a chance to move after the shoulders got so freed up. So right knee bends, we lean to the right. Left knee bends, we lean to the left. Good. Maybe take one more each side. Good. Coming back out. Got one more fun little thing to wrap up with. This is going to be a somersault flip from vampire. So let's start off sitting inside. This is one where I'm going to have to be on the outside probably to help some people. So you're going to watch me once we're sitting inside. And then I'll come around to help whoever needs it. So
with the vampire.
The vampire grip. Yep. So about that 7 or 8 grips before you head in. And then just watch for a minute. Okay. So we're here inside. It's the same things. The fabric is up over shoulders. This time you need all of your excess up as high as you can get it. I'm really tall, so that's always my little struggle for this one, is getting enough fabric up my thighs. But the one thing that's different from here is my grip. So instead of just grabbing high left and right, I need to flip it. So now it's my thumb on the outside and my fingers curl around the fabric to each side. So that's the difference. It's like a fist grip. And then I shove my elbows all the way into my waist. So from here, I rise upside down. I pike down like we did last one. I'm tall, like I said, so if I were to kneel down, my knees are not inside. So at this point, I would need to walk my toes backwards a couple of times until I can kneel. And then the idea is I need to wiggle my hips into the fabric. Think of child pose. And then my elbows need to push out so I can rise up. The fun little somersault to come out is you just get to roll and roll. Okay, so I'll be on the outside to help anybody, but we've got the same thing. So just enough fabric on your shoulders. All the excess is pulled up on a blanket across your thighs. We'll start off there. Remember, the grip is different this time. So instead of fingers wrapping around the outside, now it's thumbs on the outside, fingers grip like a fist around the fabric.
And then you just lay on your belly.
Yep, just lay on your belly. Yep. Leave the thumb on the outside, grip there. Yep. And then shove your elbows into your waist. The elbows are going to act like a chicken wing to give you something to push up against. And then hips back. Ready? Oh, there you go. So if you've made it once, take a couple of breaths to break, and then you'll
I go pike.
And then you'll take it. You can take as many of these as you want for the next couple of minutes. I'm lying down, and then you'll have to kneel down into this part of the fabric. So hips, yep, send the hips a little bit more forward. Yep. That's okay. Okay, now your hips need to go back like a child into the fabric. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle in. Like think of your hips have to touch your feet.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, so you're kneeling and sending your hips back, and then your elbows push out so that you can rise. Push out. Nope, don't wiggle. Don't readjust. Yep. Yeah. Push out. Yeah. Lost this. Yep. Push out.
Not better.
Your elbows aren't in your waist. Oh, okay. You got the grip. Shove it, elbows in your waist. Oh, even good. That'll give you a little bit more.
Shorter on the outside.
Oh, when you roll out again, you can readjust it for a second ago. So think of vampire. Your head goes directly down. This will wrap around your shoulders. You're safe. You're safe. Good. Go down rather than forward. Yep. And then just roll your hips up and out. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're doing good. You can just lay down. So take this however many times, maybe another time or two if you'd like. And eventually it'll be Shavasana, but no pressure. Up to you. You're doing awesome. Think the hips farther back. Hips into feet. Push. Got it. That's very true. This one gets you tired. Mayday.
I don't know where to go. You just keep walking past me.
Elbows push out. Elbows push out. Out.
Lock the wings. Lock the wings.
You got yourself like in a spot where it's like not enough room for your elbows, I think. Okay, sit up tall for a moment. I think you just lost your chicken wing. So lift. You're gonna need to lift your elbow up, and then catch a wing. Catch a wing right there. Okay. Yeah. So you somehow you locked your elbow so you can't go wide. Okay. Here, come back inside. Back inside. You're just gonna step your way out. So again, it's not Shavasana time, so go ahead and just head back to Shavasana. Go ahead and just lay back, nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
Just take some good deep breaths. We built up some body heat from these things. Lots of good stuff going on. If you ever need to just lay on the floor because you're too warm now, that's okay. But let's just have these next few minutes just to breathe, just to relax. Lots of excitement, so much energy flowing up and down our chakras now. This playfulness is super key to that openness of the chakras. Even if we totally biffed things, that's okay. That's part of the playfulness. So for the next few minutes, just let your breath flow. Huge inhales, huge exhales. And imagine with each inhale, it's like all those rainbow colors we talked about are flashing brilliantly. With each exhale, they dim a little bit, but it's not so much losing energy as it is releasing some of the darkness that's preventing it from glowing brighter. So each inhale is even more brilliant. Each exhale, relax. Got a few minutes just to be here with our chakras, all this energy, all this flow. Just keep breathing. let's begin to deepen our inhales, our exhales. Start to introduce some movements back into fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up. Sometimes it's nice to let the shoulders wiggle left and right a couple of times. Or sometimes I really want to take a fetal position, so I leave the body long, but I roll onto one hip. And then curl the body in and arc the spine back. Almost like a cat-cow, just all these movements, whatever it is, waking up the spine. The spine is very, very connected with the chakras. The health of the spine definitely impacts the health of the chakras and vice versa. Taking this moment to wake up everything. Imagine it's all balanced, it's all aligned. Do 2 or 3 more breaths. And eventually we'll head up to a nice comfortable seated place. As at the heart, we reconnect back to our intention. Just like at the beginning of class, taking a little snapshot of how it was then. Feel now how these energy centers are. Maybe they're just completely alive. It's like we've woken up to a whole new world. And feel how from this state, the thought of releasing something isn't that big of a deal. It doesn't drain us that much. We remember that's how we create space for whatever that next new adventure is. And so with these open chakras to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.